Warning, the following video contains mathematics. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hello, welcome to this video about correctly interpreting 538 numbers using just two probability equations. For a quick refresher, let's take a look at the Venn diagram. Here we have circle A and B. Circle A is representing the probability of observing some event A. The area is proportional to the probability. So the bigger the area, the more likely it's going to happen. We see that B crosses A and divided into two parts. We have the inner part, which is the probability of observing both events, A and B, and we have the probability of just observing A, but not B. Because the blue area can be divided into the green and the orange, then the probabilities can be added up as well. This is the first equation. This equation relates the green and the orange part. The next equation relates the orange and the red by introducing a conditional probability. The probability of A given B is suppose B is observed. What is the probability of also observing A? Conditional probability is not labeled because it's a ratio of the orange area to the red area. That's all there is. Let's take a look at some numbers. Suppose that the results for Pennsylvania came out. What would be the chances of Trump winning the election? According to 538, Trump has an 11% chance of winning the election, while Biden has 89%. If Trump wins Pennsylvania, then his chance of winning the election rises up to 67%. So winning Pennsylvania gives Trump a 67% chance of winning the election. This question asks for the probability that he wins both the election and Pennsylvania. We can rewrite this using the second formula. The desired probability is equal to the probability that he wins the election knowing he has won Pennsylvania times the probability of him winning Pennsylvania. We know the conditional probability. That was 0.67. To see the probability of either candidate wins Pennsylvania, let's deselect it and see that Biden has an 86% chance while Trump has 14% chance. Writing as decimals, this is 0.67 times 0.14, and it simplifies to around 9%. So he has about 9% chance of winning both Pennsylvania and the election. What are chances that his path to victory includes Pennsylvania? Now let's rearrange the second formula and solve for the conditional probability. It's the probability that they both happen, which is 0.094, divided by the probability that he won the election. This simplifies to around 0.85. So 85% of Trump's path to victory includes Pennsylvania. There are two approaches to solve the problem. Let's look at the first approach. Using the familiar second formula and rewrite this as conditional probability, we need 538 to give us the probability of Florida given he has carried Pennsylvania. If Biden is to carry Pennsylvania, then his chance of winning Florida is 72%. However, if we do not know the results of Pennsylvania, then Biden has 65% chance of winning Florida. If Biden carries Florida, then his chance of winning Pennsylvania rises to 95%. This shows the 538 model uses existing results to project states for which results have not been called yet. That means when you choose the winner in one place, the model updates the probability. This is 0.72 times 0.86, which is about 0.62. The other approach is that instead of asking Florida and Pennsylvania, we could have asked, what's the probability of him winning Pennsylvania and Florida? It's a very similar approach, but now we need these two new probabilities. Probability of him winning Pennsylvania when we know that he has won Florida, times by the probability that he wins Florida. So it's 0.95 times 0.65. Which is about 0.618. It's actually the exact same. It's actually pretty close to the first method. and Biden has a 62% chance of winning both Florida and Pennsylvania. If you were surprised that the two methods gave the same answer, be sure to press like. How likely is it for Trump to win the election if he wins Pennsylvania? There's a longer way of answering this question without looking it up. Now, Trump, if he wins the election, he can win it with and without Pennsylvania. We can apply Formula 2 and rewrite these using conditional probability. We know most of these numbers. For example, we know the probability of either candidate winning the state. And we need to look up the probability of Trump winning despite losing Pennsylvania. If Biden secures Pennsylvania, then Trump has only 2% chance of winning the election. However, 2% is not zero, and we still need this number in our calculation. Having all the numbers, we can now solve for our unknown. And we see that this is around 0.663. It's actually exactly the answer. It's actually pretty close to the answer we have of 67%, but this is 66% chance of winning the election. How likely is it for Biden to win at least one of Georgia, North Carolina, and Ohio? There are only two cases here. Either Biden wins at least one of these three states, or Trump wins all of them. Because there are only two options, their probabilities must add up to 1. Using the brackets as provided, we can use the conditional formula and rewrite the probability for which Trump wins all three states. We can apply the conditional formula again. For the conditional probability of 3 states, we work from right to left. First, let's see that Trump has 59% chance of carrying Ohio. If he wins Ohio, then he has 53% chance of winning North Carolina. If he wins both Ohio and North Carolina, then he has 83% chance of winning Georgia. There are 5 other ways of carrying this out. All of them give us a very close answer. In this case, it was 0.83 times 0.53 times 0.59. But we're not done yet. To find the probability that Biden wins at least one of these 3 states, we need to do 1 minus. And that is about 0.74. So Biden has a 74% chance of winning at least one of Georgia, North Carolina, and Ohio. Finally, how likely is it for Biden to win the election with at least one of these 3 states? This question is fundamentally different to when we asked the probability of Trump winning the election with Pennsylvania. Because in that case, what we did was we went to FiveThirtyEight and we looked up the number. But in this case, what we did on the map is that we had Trump winning Georgia, North Carolina, and Ohio. So we cannot directly look it up. We can apply Formula 1 again, and we see that Biden can win either without or with at least one of these 3 states, which will simplify as G and O. We can rearrange. We can use equation 2 to convert this into conditional probability. And we already know the probability of Trump winning all 3 states from the previous question, which was 0.26. If Trump wins Ohio, North Carolina, and Georgia, that still leaves Biden with a 61% chance. Putting the numbers in is approximately 0.73. So Biden has a 73% chance of winning the election with at least one of these 3 states. Remember that from the previous question, Biden has a 74% chance of winning one of these 3 states. Does it make sense that FiveThirtyEight claims winning one of Georgia, North Carolina, and Ohio essentially secures Biden's presidency? Let me know in the comments. Here are some final remarks. First, if not already, make sure to vote. Votes matter more than polls. The analysis presented in this video works for any complete model without recalculation. You need to recalculate whenever probabilities change. If you like this video, be sure to give me a thumbs up and subscribe for more statistics and probability content.